Buckland doesn't fear Sykes' punching power. You can see that. He'll take risks. That's something Sykes cannot afford to do, as he knows.
You can't afford to run out of steam in this kind of fight. And at the moment, I see that as the biggest danger from Buckland. He's putting so much into what he's doing. He's giving it 100%. That's the kind of guy he is. And I thought that was another round to Buckland.
Keep boxing and keep tight, kid, like he just said. Like Bob's just said, keep tight.
They really are trying to keep Gary Sykes on message.
I just think too many defensive lapses from Sykes. And it's another round for me that you remember the punches that Buckland landed. Some good responses from Sykes, but I like the look again of Buckland in that round.
Round 5, Gary Buckland, the challenger for this British super featherweight title. Doing a lot of sparring with Carl Frampton, Elise Selby. He had such a sensational win last week, of course. Been doing a lot of sparring with him for speed. Robbie Turley as well. That's the kind of sparring that Buckland's been getting.
See, it's not in Sykes' nature to box on the move, win this without getting involved. So there's going to come a time when he's going to have to be able to outfight Gary Buckland. And I wonder, when that time comes, will he be physically able to do that? A lot depends on what Buckland has left. Oh, good stuff there from Sykes.
It's better. I think the message from the corner is finally starting to get through. They want him moving, particularly to his right, which we're not seeing. They want him working the body with the right hand. They feel that Buckland is going to get one-dimensional the longer this fight goes on, and when you factor in what you've talked about fatigue as well, Jim, but he's got to stay close and win some of these middle rounds to have a chance for that to come to fruition.
See, the thing is, it's been impossible to use the jab, for Sykes, because the way Buckland is jumping on him. But when this pace slows, as he's beginning to slow a little bit now, that's when the jab comes into play. That's when Buckland's taking a split second longer to get his attacks off, and then Smith can use that split second to get, Sykes can use that split second to get the jabs off. Finding a bit more time now, Sykes.
That was a good combination from the Welshman.
Then you have a psychological situation for Buckland. He knows he's facing a guy whose strongest asset as he's boxing over the 12-round distance. If he starts to go tired round about the halfway stage, that'll put big down. A good body shot from Sykes.
They've both done the 12 rounds. And as you say, it is very hot in this ring as well, this auditorium.
Sykes looking more comfortable now. Good work from Sykes.
Yeah, this is better. The punch is starting to flow, and the Welshman still loading up with these big single shots. When they land, you can see the sweat spraying off the face and the head of Gary Sykes, who missed there on that combination. But a more even round this. Nice body shot.
Not the same intensity from Buckland, a bit more thought into his boxing, which I'm not knocking, because he's going to have to think about the 12-round distance here. He's landed his best shots. Sykes hasn't budged.
Yeah, this really is developing it into an interesting one, isn't it? Adam Smith is at ringside with the man we heard from earlier, Alex Arthur. Adam.
Well, Alex, it might not have the scintillating drama of your fight with Gomez, but it's pretty compelling stuff, isn't it?
Oh, it's a really exciting fight. I've got Buckland up by 1 round just now, but it looks like Sykes is coming back into it.
Nip and tuck, great action. John Keane's hardly had to do anything, the referee.
No, really clean, neat boxing with both boys, and it looks like it's going to turn into an absolute barnstormer, yeah.
Obviously, Sykes has got through the early rounds. Is that crucial now? Will his strategy start to come into play?
I think it was really important. It looks like he's taken the right hand a number of times, the one that knocked him out first time. I think that'll do his confidence the world of good, and I think he's going to come on good late.
Yeah, do you think Buckland might run out of steam because of the early push?
He looks very fit. I can't really see it. I think he's going to keep going at that pace.
All the way, who wins?
Oh, can't say now. It's too close.
And that's what we want, isn't it, Nick?
Absolutely, but talk about sitting on the fence, Alex Arthur. But I'll tell you what, if his scorecard is to be believed, the Sykes camp are exactly where they want to be right now.
So I'm wondering now at this point in the fight who is the more adaptable, and I'm thinking that might be Gary Sykes. I mean, can Gary Buckland, can he come up with something else if this stops working, or is it just this charge forward and putting punches together? Trying to draw him into a bit of a brawl. This is better stuff from Sykes, more thoughtful in his boxing now.
Well, this is the report card on Gary Buckland, that he is this tough throwback. You know, this is a fella you have to force him to put a gum shield in during sparring. He doesn't like to wear a head guard, doesn't like to wear the bandages. He's real old school, Gary Buckland. But the feeling is, whether this is true or not, we will find out, that the longer it goes, the more one-dimensional he gets, and that a good boxer can pick him off. That's what the Sykes camp are hoping is going to happen. And if Sykes starts working the right hands to the body, you'll know that strategy is paying off, because that's what Julian McGowan said he wanted to see today. Haven't seen much of it through the first 5 rounds or so, but he's starting to really settle to his work here, Sykes.
Yeah, but Buckland trying to pick up the pace as well. Yep, there he goes, good uppercut. I think he realises he let things slip a little bit in the previous round, trying to re-establish himself.
And now the tempo really picking up as Sykes starts to pick his man off, and Buckland comes back with some stuff. And Sykes just has to be careful. Don't get involved in a brawl with Gary Buckland. You can't win that way. That's been the message from his camp.
Well, difficult to split them in the first couple of minutes of this round. Will someone take over and sway it one way or the other? This really is tremendous stuff.
You've got to like the concentration that we're seeing from Gary Sykes. They've had some real good sparring with him. Carl Johansson has given him some serious workouts. He's been in with the likes of Anthony Crolla, Scott Quigg, Stephen Smith. Real high-quality sparring, and those sparring partners have all been told the same thing. Get in his face. Don't let him breathe for a moment. And the aim has been, get the concentration level up. You have to concentrate against this man. The tape starting to work loose on the left glove of Gary Buckland. And I think John Keane might have spotted it. But it's becoming, Jim, you just get the sense, more of the kind of fight that Gary Sykes would like it to be at the moment.
Yeah, well, he's the one with the terrific engine. That's probably his biggest asset, not to detract from the skills the guy has and the determination, but he does have a terrific engine. I'm finding it difficult to split them in this one. A good right hand from Buckland.
There's enough warning signs out there. The Buckland is not finished, not by a long way. That was a terrific right hand, and a Buckland right hand can turn this around in the blink of an eye. But a much better round for Gary Sykes. He's really starting to settle down a bit now.
Listen, you've got scissors there. Right, the little, look, you've got scissors. The little right, got towel. The little right hook you're doing is killing him. Okay, the problem what we've got here, Gaz, right, is you're outboxing him for a minute, and then you're taking a minute off, and he's having his turn, and then you're leaving a little bit left in these rounds where they could...
Well, I found it impossible to split them in that round. I mean, quality work from either man. They seem to take turns each. One would gain the ascendancy, then the other one would take. Tremendous round, tremendous fight. I have Buckland 1 point up, as you can see, due to the fact he came out of the blocks a little bit quicker.
So at the halfway point, not much in it. Let's see if Gary Sykes can establish his superior boxing skills in the second half of this fight to win that Lonsdale belt outright. Or will Gary Buckland keep this pressure on and slowly but surely wear his man down? Fascinating stuff, this.
You know, I think the biggest fear before the fight starts for Sykes was that he gets blasted out again. I mean, that would have ruined his career. But I think he's in a comfortable position now. He has his confidence. He knows he can stand with Buckland. And he has the confidence now that I'm not sure he brought into the ring with him.
Well, as Alex Arthur was saying earlier, you heard him talking to Adam, that he's taken some of those right hands. And look at some of the punches he took against Carl Johansson when he climbed off the floor to defend his title. It's all going to be about restoring his